I've been speaking for quite some time. I think I've been teaching for almost an hour right now. Can I take quick 3 to 4 minutes to introduce myself? Because I just realized I didn't even introduce myself. I just said, hey, I'm founder of a growth school, and that's pretty much it. Can I take 3 to 4 minutes to introduce myself? Okay, awesome. I'm gonna make it even faster. Okay, guys, like you can see, my name is Vaibhav Srisanthi, currently the founder of Growth School. This is my chief cuddling partner as well. That's Phoebe, my dog. If you guys are wondering where did the name Phoebe come from, I don't know if you guys are any Friends fans here. Any Friends fans? Drop in a heart if you like the show Friends. Yeah, awesome. Yeah, that is where the name Phoebe comes from. The French character Phoebe Buffet is where it comes from. I studied in this school called as St. Vincent's Convent School in a small town in Orissa called as Barampur. Yes, I do speak Oriya, so if there are any Oriya people here, Kimi Krichu Chama Samaste. And I also write Oriya. But I come from a Telugu family, so I also speak Telugu, and I've watched a lot of Telugu movies as well. So Ella Marminandaru, if you are out there, you can speak Telugu. And of course, because Bollywood has the enough influence on me, so I can speak Hindi as well. So kaise ho tum sab log? And because I studied in an ICC school, I speak English as well. I speak almost 4 languages, showing off my multilinguistic skills to all of you people. Right? But this is where I come from, guys. And like a lot of you people, I'm pretty sure I've been a terrible student. I studied in ICSE. In ICSE, we were taught Julius Caesar in name of English. Any ICSE students out there, all of you guys will relate to me. And this is how my report card used to look like. 47%, 46%, 49%. Failed, because I used to at least fail in 5 out of 11 subjects that I used to have. Finally got promoted. Towards the end, in the final exam, I will do by hook or crook, just get passed and move on. Always been a backbencher all my life, never been a good student. That same guy who passes in all his subjects in engineering by studying one day before the exam. That has been me, right? I started my first startup when I was 19 years old. I started something called as Discovering Android, and some bad stuff happened with it. Basically, I was teaching people how to hack Android. I was 19. And Google was like, I own Android and you can't do it, and they banned us from Google search. Right? That was the end of my first startup. Then I started something called as Crazy Heads when I was 20 years old. It was a digital media company. We won awards. She is actually an actress. We won the Fast Emerging Digital Media Startup of the Year award back in 2014. Right? And then I joined Uber. Early days, if launched a bunch of cities for Uber back in 2015, worked at Uber for almost 5 years in India, in SF, in Latin America, traveled the world for Uber, spent about 5 years at Uber. This is Travis Kalanick, by the way, the founder of Uber. This was a picture taken at Las Vegas for an event that had gone for Uber. Then I went on to lead growth for Klook and Uber as well. Like you can see, travel the world for that as well. And eventually started, my company LinkedIn as my company Growth School as well. Like I said, I've worked with a bunch of people all over the world. My YouTube talks has over a million people. I don't know if you've come across any of my podcasts. I've done a bunch of podcasts on AI, how to grow using AI and stuff like that with your favorite creators, starting with Raj Shamani to Ganesh from Think School to Sharan Hegde, which is Finance with Sharan. All of these podcasts have millions of views. If you guys want to explore that, go do check it out on YouTube. Right, I've done that as well. I've consulted with over 100 brands. That's me. The reason why I try to give an introduction of mine, and the reason why I speak about where I come from, is because a lot of people think that if they come from a small town, if they're not great students. By the way, I've not studied in IC, I've not studied in any IIT, I don't have an MBA, nothing. Right? I've been a terrible student all my life, like you guys just saw. I don't think any of these are important or needed for you to win. I think what is important for you to win is extreme execution. That is what I've been doing. That is what allowed me to work with companies like Uber, Klook, eventually raise 45 crore rupees from the top team investors to build Growth School as well. I thought putting this story out will inspire a couple of people, and that's exactly why I did that. I hope I didn't waste too much of your time. And I hope this was helpful. With that being said, let's jump into more meat right now. I told you things are gonna get better and better as we go. And that is what we are gonna do right now. What if I tell you there is a tool which is so powerful that can tell you everything about anyone on LinkedIn, and it gives you such detail on people that even they don't know about themselves. It's an AI tool, and the name of the tool is called as Crystal Notes. Okay, I'm going to share the link of the tool as well. It is a Chrome extension. For example, this is Uttam. He is one of the trainers who teaches a lot of LinkedIn and everything around it. He has about 70,000 followers on his LinkedIn. Let's say I want to know everything about Uttam. I have a chat with Uttam today, tomorrow. How do I go about it? Well, I basically installed this plugin called as Crystal Notes, and you can see this sidebar that has come up right here. You see this Be Compelling right here? When I open the sidebar, right, this AI tool will go through the whole profile of Uttam, or any profile for that matter, and it will tell me a lot of things about this person. For example, it is telling me how to communicate with Uttam. Let's say you have an interview with Uttam, or let's say you have a date with someone, and you want to know more about that person before you even get on that conversation. Crystal Notes is a great tool. You can see the things to do with Uttam, things that you should not do with Uttam is all covered here. The behavior that you should stick to when you're talking to, stick to the big picture. He gets bored easily. He leads the conversation in a meeting. When you're writing emails to Uttam, make the message entertaining, provide quick and convenient call of action, avoid too many attachments, how to drive Uttam to take action. You get to read about that person, not just the information that is present, but AI is literally telling you how to talk to this person. Isn't this insane? Drop in a heart if you like the fact about this. And like I said, this is called as Crystal Notes, and this is the tool. And of course, right, we will share the link of this tool with all of you people as well. You don't have to worry about that. Yes? Awesome. Now, moving on. We have covered all these things already, guys. We have covered all these things already, and there's a lot more coming up. You can see the number of things that we need to cover going forward. There's a lot more things coming up as well. But I hope all of you guys are having a great time, and you guys are learning enough number of things during the course of this time. Now, like I told you, we covered enough. Now we're going to move on to more things. Let's learn how to connect in the right way to people. Now, let me give you some knowledge, because it's also important. Because a lot of times when we're trying to reach out to people on LinkedIn, I see a lot of people make a lot of mistakes. So I want to tell you 3 important factors when you're trying to reach out to someone on LinkedIn or trying to send a connection request. Number 1, personalization. Don't say, "Hey Vaibhav, how are you? I would love to connect with you." You should first send a note when you're trying to connect with someone, but personalize the information. Very, very important. 2, if someone is not replying to your messages, doesn't mean they're not interested in you. That also means that they are busy, they didn't get access to this, they were not able to see the stuff that you have. So always follow up with people. And of course, go about multi-touch point. Now let's start with the first one, which is personalization. So this is an example message that I used to send before when I was trying to connect with people. You see, I would try to use information which people would relate to. I would be like, hey, in this case, right, I was connecting to a few people who were part of the same Facebook group that I was part of then. So I would send a message saying that I found your profile on BAM's Facebook group. I would love to connect. The more you personalize your connection message, the better is your odds to connect with the person. In fact, you know what? You can literally write cold emails using AI to get in touch with people and get jobs of people as well. In fact, you can find email IDs of people as well using AI. Let me show you how you can go about it. Okay? Of course, right? You can use a tool like Claude, which is basically my favorite when it comes to doing tasks like this. And you can use the free version of Claude as well. And I would prefer always to use the most powerful model of Claude. And I can write something like this. Let's say I want to write a cold email to the founder of Zepto asking for a job. I would write a prompt like this. I want to write a cold email. I want you to help me write a cold email to the founder of Zepto. Now, before you write the cold email, I want you to research about the name of the founder, his email ID, if possible. Read a couple of things about the recent news of Zepto from the internet. Read a couple of social media posts of the founder. Use all this information to write a super personalized email for me. And not just that, find me the email ID of the founder so that once I have the email from you, I can use that email ID to send this cold email as well. My name is Vaibhav. I am the founder of Growth School, but I'm for whatever reason looking for a growth marketing role in Zepto. Based on that, write a cold email for me. You see, I come to here, which is Claude, and I can click on this settings and toolbar. I can turn on web search like you can see, and I can turn on extended thinking as well. Okay. Now that I've done this, I wrote a big prompt. I said write a cold email, but not just write a cold email. I basically said read about the founder, read about the social media content that the founder has created, find the email ID, and put all this information together. And because Claude is agentic, you can see first it did a list of tasks that it needs to do. Now it's trying to research to craft a super personalized cold email. So it's reading about information about Zepto. Guys, that's the whole power of AI, right? When you want to write a great cold email, you need to research a lot about that person. You just cannot say, I want a job. So that is what AI is doing. What AI is doing, it found the name of the founder, right? Once it did, what it's doing, it's reading a bunch of information. It did a bunch of stuff. Look at this. Zepto founder name, found the recent news about Zepto, found the recent tweets, found recent LinkedIn posts, now looking for phone numbers, now that found everything, found the email ID of the person as well. Now it's writing about, researching about me. Now once it finds everything, here comes the research information. Here comes all the information about the person, and look at this, guys. Drop in a heart if you think this is crazy. AI did all this research on our behalf to finally write a great cold email for us. Huge congratulations on yesterday's, because a few days back they raised $450 million at $7 billion valuation. It did all that research and wrote a great cold email that I can send to the founder of Zepto. Not just that, it also found the email ID of the founder. And we did all of this with a prompt using a tool like Claude. Now, I could have completely skipped this bit, not even show you this. But the reason why I show you all of these is because I don't want you guys to lose out on any opportunities. World is not easy. I think you have to do two more things to win than everybody else. And I want to teach you ways. And that's exactly why I taught you how you go about it. Again, all these prompts, everything will be shared with you, the tools will be shared with you, so that you can use them and find great value as well. Now, something else that I told you, when it comes to reaching people out on LinkedIn, what a lot of people do is they don't do outreach on LinkedIn. Now we did cold email, right? Now let's come back to LinkedIn. People usually don't do outreaches on LinkedIn in the right way. What do I mean by that? Well, what I meant by this is that people follow very rudimentary processes. Something like this. Okay? Now, before I go into this process, what you're going to learn today, what you're going to learn right now is going to be mind-blowing, because this is my $100,000 outbound strategy. I've closed literally lakhs and lakhs of rupees of revenue with this same strategy. I'm going to show you at this point of time. You see, when people try to reach out on LinkedIn, right, this is what they do. This is how they reach out on LinkedIn. Let me just quickly show you. You see, they basically send an invitation to people who they want to connect. Most of them don't even mention a note when they send an invitation. And if the person accepts their invitation, the moment they accept their invitation, they'll be like, hey, I'm looking for a job, can you please give me a job? And most of the times, they don't get a reply. As a result, they leave, saying that LinkedIn doesn't work. Don't you guys agree this is what people do? They send you an invite. The moment you accept, they send a sales message. Hey, I'm selling this service, are you interested? Hey, I'm looking for a job, can you help me? Hey, I'm looking for freelancing, do you have any work? This is what most of people do. And when they don't get a reply, they give up, saying, oh damn, LinkedIn doesn't work. Well, the reason why it doesn't work is because this is a very terrible process. Now, a few smart people use a process like this. They send an invite with a personalized note. Because every time you're sending an invitation on LinkedIn, you can send a note with it. So people start to send an invite with a personalized note. Once a personalized note happens, if the person connects, they send a thank you message. If the person send a thank you message, if they get a reply, great, they continue to have the conversation. And if they don't get a reply, you know what they do? They send a follow-up message. The moment someone accepts your message, accepts your invitation, you should say thank you so much for accepting. Really appreciate it. I would love to have a quick conversation with you on this topic. And if they don't reply, again people give up. But your job is to follow up. I told you, money is in the follow-up. The moment you follow up, maybe the person didn't see the message. Wait for a few days. Do a follow-up. And once you do a follow-up, maybe there's a chance the person can reply. You do a couple of follow-ups, a few people do a couple of follow-ups, and they give up. This is what a few smart people do. But you know what? What I'm going to show you right now is my $100,000 outbound strategy. If I have to reach out to people, this is what I would do. And this is a very, very powerful way of going about it. I send an invite with a personalized note. If the person connects and the person replies to my personalized note, great. But if the person connects but doesn't reply to my note, because I already sent a personalized note, what do? I send a thank you message, like I told you. I said, thank you XYZ for accepting my connection. Would love to have a conversation with you. I saw your profile, I found it fascinating. This is what I do, da, 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 da. If the person replies, great. If the person doesn't reply, no reply, I don't follow up. You know what I do? I go into their profile and like the content that they have created or comment on a piece of content that they created. You know what happens when I do that? The moment I like their content or comment on their content, a notification is sent by LinkedIn saying Vaibhav Sisanti commented on your content. Now you see, 99.9% of people don't get a lot of likes and comments. So you get their attention. And then they go, yeah, I accepted this person's invitation. He sent me a message. Now he's coming and commenting on my content as well. Seems to be a good guy, I should reply. And the odds of you getting a reply significantly goes up. But for whatever reason, the person still doesn't reply. What do you do? Then you drop a follow-up message. You'll be like, hey, I just read this message. I just read this post of yours yesterday. I absolutely loved it. Great job. Now you'll expect him to reply to your message. If the person still doesn't reply to your message, what do? Do you do a follow-up message? No. You use one more weapon of yours. You know what you do? You go ahead and endorse 3 of their skills. On the LinkedIn profile, there are a lot of skills that a lot of these people have already put. You can go and click on endorse on their skills. You know what happens when you endorse their skills? LinkedIn again sends a notification asking, saying Vaibhav Sisanti just endorsed your skill XYZ. Say thank you. You know what happens? A lot of people end up saying thank you. When they click on this button, they automatically reply to your message. As a result, you can start having a conversation. If the still doesn't reply, then you can of course drop a follow-up message again. This is my $100,000 outbound strategy. And it doesn't only involve with you dropping follow-up messages, but also involves you to doing things to make LinkedIn remind them of you. When you go and comment on their content, what happens? They will get reminded of you. If by any chance they click on the profile to see your LinkedIn profile and who you are, even if they don't reply, next time you create a piece of content, LinkedIn will make sure that the content that you created is shown to that person. If the person still doesn't reply, you drop a follow-up message. If the person still doesn't reply, you endorse their skills. So LinkedIn again reminds you of them. Reminds them of you. If the person still doesn't reply, then you do a follow-up message. So you're using different features of LinkedIn to remind that person of you. That is what gets you insane outputs. Guys, if you think this is powerful, drop in a heart. I see a lot of people. I hope this is mind-blowing.